Guys, I'm just really happy to see Chainlink start to pump finally. It's doing pretty well. It's been pumping in the last day or so. Just Chainlink is one of those tokens. It's one of the most solid, if not the most solid token in all of crypto. Like everything depends on Chainlink that needs to access the outside world and back. There are some alternatives like Band, but you never hear about all of those. Chainlink, man, it's so solid, doesn't go down, doesn't mess around, just keeps on ticking. It's so dependable, so high quality that it's often taken for granted, right? And finally, it's starting to pump, it's starting to move. And some of you guys that have Chainlink like myself may still be in the red because you bought at slightly higher prices. And of course, Chainlink is nowhere near its all-time highs or what it should be at the moment. So it's great to see it pumping. Some of the other coins are coming back too. In fact, some of the coins are coming back so much so that Coinbase, the people at Coinbase are calling alt season, saying that alt season is upon us because, the coins are moving, right? It's green all over the place today. There are some dips now and again, but everyone's moving, everyone's doing well. XRP doing really, really well. Under Finance doing extremely well. Everyone is looking nice and happy today. XRP though continues to make the headlines. Good stuff coming to XRP. You've all seen the Wellgistics story. Wellgistics revolutionizes pharma payments with XRP Ledger integration. Now, I've talked about this actually when they first announced it a few times on this channel already, but it's sort of gone live. And Wellgistics is a pharma niched company. So they've used XRP Ledger to power their pharmacy payment system, and that impacts 6,500 pharmacies. They drive real-time, low-cost transactions complying with HIPAA and AML. Those are regulations, right? And significant blockchain utilization in US healthcare sector. Now, if you go to Wellgistics website, something is changing. I'm going to point it out in a minute, but I noticed this some time ago and I just keep forgetting to show you guys. Wellgistics is, a well-known American company in the pharmaceutical sector. Okay, business synergy, yada yada yada, tech hub, pharmacy distribution. It's a logistics company, right? And if you look at their menu on the front tab, home, tech hub, distribution, pharmacy, investors, leadership, 3PL, XRP. Now, XRP is so central to their business now that is occupying a top corner of their website. And if you click on it, you get this form where pharmacies can sign up to this, XRP payment. But not that only, they go ahead and explain why to use XRP. There's an ebook that you can learn about, an entire ebook. I mean, these guys are not messing around. They're spreading the word on their website, okay? Instant payments, immutable compliance, no middleman fees, global standard, why XRP and why now? This ebook is actually quite interesting. I'll leave a link to this website. Obviously, you could just go to Wellgistics website, but I'll still leave all the links in the description as usual if you want to go check it out. I think this is quite amazing what XRP can do in healthcare today. And they go ahead and, obviously they'll be preaching to the choir to some of you guys, but there are people out there that don't understand. Believe me, a lot of people still think XRP is some sort of scam token that, is comparable to a meme, pump and dump, it's a scam. A lot of people still think this. And here is a well-known pharmaceutical company basically fanboying all over XRP on their website, right? It talks about what you can do. Download a free ebook, The XRP Advantage in Healthcare. I recommend it. It's a really good read. You have to leave your email address, obviously, and they send it to you in email. Obviously, they're building a mailing list or what have you. But this is absolutely insane. By the way, the healthcare sector is amongst the most stringently regulated, sector in the United States and around the world. And a lot of regulations have to be complied with. So if XRP and this payment system can pass a lot of these compliance regulations, best believe that is going to clear the way for a lot of different sectors, financial sector, health sector, food and beverages, whatever. All the other sectors will also eventually plug into this system. So this is a kind of, you can call it a proof of concept from the XRP Ledger's point of view of how this can actually work. Best believe a lot of industries are going to be looking at this. They're going to be looking at the efficiency in the payment. They're going to be looking at the money saved, which is a big one, and the organization and how it speeds up the business and makes it more immutable, more accountable, etc., etc., etc. So shout out to Wellgistics for doing some of our work for us and pumping out a token. And also, by the way, Wellgistics, I think it's Wellgistics, I might be wrong. They've deposited a massive chunk of XRP on Flare for yielding purposes. So not only are they using XRP for the payment synergy stuff, they're also using XRP as some kind of digital reserve strategy and for passive income generation. So very intelligent company, very smart company. While others badmouth XRP on social media, we have legit companies, massive logistics setups doing, they've seen the light, right? And they're doing it. Now, moving on to something I don't quite understand, and that is NFTs, man. Now, this is OpenSea. By the way, the website has really changed since the last time I accessed this a few years ago. It looks really more sort of inviting and sophisticated, right? Now, I don't know if this represents activity or just some sort of display and people hoping for the best. If you click on something like this, right, this CryptoPunks, right? This is one of the OG NFTs from back in the day, right? So they cost a lot of money because a lot of people bought them for a lot of money and a lot of people have them up for sale, right? That's the whole point of this OpenSea. They're up for sale. They're not being hodled by these people. These people are trying to offload them onto unsuspecting people. And I look at this, right? Why would somebody part with 49 ETH, right? Which is $225,000 for a pixelated JPEG. Okay. All right, I sound like a bit of a noob. I understand that there's more to NFTs in the background. They're non-fungible. You're the only one that really truly has it. You can't open image. This is what it is. It's a JPEG. I understand that's just a display representation in digital form. There's more to it in the back on the blockchain, blah, blah, blah. But unless this thing is linked with something else in the back, it's absolutely worthless. Now, I believe there's a space for NFTs in the creative arts, for instance, in bringing music back into the digital age, photography back into digital age, and making non-fungible album releases, for instance, which makes music more valuable. It reduces piracy, etc. And some artists are leveraging that. Also, the tokenization of real-world assets, they're kind of NFTs, right? It's the same technology, same concept of non-fungibility to create tokenization that is linked with something in the real world. Now, unless this CryptoPunks is linked to something like, I don't know, private Maserati or Rolls-Royce owners, and it gives you access to exclusive clubs or Mar-a-Lago or one of those places where only billionaires are allowed to enter, or it gives you free flights forever on luxury airlines or something like that. Something of a tangible human world 3D benefit. I don't understand why this is a kind of a store of value and why this is worth, $250,000 when I can have $250,000 instead of a pixelated JPEG in a little square. I don't get it. I understand that is some sort of private club, early movers, but these people I think are deluded if they think anyone's going to buy this. Now, if this was, say, a Banksy, for instance, that is linked to a real life Banksy, now there's a real world value in that I can sell it on to somebody else, and that could store value, or an NFT that gives me a share in a part of a Mona Lisa portrait or something like this, then I can understand that. But look, if you got all the other collections, obviously there's the Bored Apes, those are actually quite valuable as well. But let me just click on random ones. Space Doodles, right? These were obviously digital art created by someone. This is like a GIF or whatever, and this is supposed to be worth nearly $5,000. I get it that Ethereum is pumping, and the more Ethereum pumps, the more the value of these things pump, because they're in ETH, not in dollars, right? But I can't see anyone in their right mind buying this unless this is linked to something in real life. And unfortunately, in the time that's elapsed while these things were created, the concept of NFTs being a rallying technology around a cause or around a community has moved to memes. So memes are now more likely to be used to rally people around a cause, like MAGA, for instance, or climate change, what have you. People rally around memes because meme coins are easy to offload. They're much cheaper than this, and you can get in and out very quickly. You can trade them on exchanges. Yes, you can trade NFTs on exchange. This is an exchange for NFT trading, but I think NFTs happened too early in the whole cycle of crypto. They peaked too early. Now people are stuck with valueless things that have these values that are just sitting in people's heads and no actual tangible value to it. Again, I might be wrong. Who knows? What I am scared of, though, and I think you should be scared of it too, is this stuff. AI agents for crypto trading. AI agents are all the rage now, right? There are free AI agents that are actually quite good, and there are paid ones that are absolutely insane, right? So AI agents replace trading bots. Trading bots have been around for time immemorial. They've been doing a lot of damage on the stock exchange, for instance. Sometimes have to shut them off. Sometimes some exchanges ban them altogether. But with AI agents, it could be indistinguishable from a human, and the exchanges are going to have a hard time locating or identifying AI agents because, for instance, I myself, I could set one up, give it my credentials, and have it log into an exchange to which I am signed up for, right? And let it just go ahead and let loose. And these AI agents are only going to get more sophisticated. Understand that this now is the worst they're ever going to be. This is the least sophisticated that AI agents are ever going to be. They're only going to get better. So a year down the line, the next cycle, for instance, in 4 years' time, these things are going to be pretty much humanoid, 10x, 100x, trading capabilities of a human. Right now, they've already outpaced us, and they will continuously get better. Now, some of these free ones have other uses apart from trading, like this curl one. This is where those bots that are set up to leave comments on YouTube channels like mine, for instance, you see them. Some of them even address me by name. They're easy to create with these things, which is why there are hundreds of thousands of them on just my YouTube channel alone, let alone on, around the internet. They're very, very easy to create. You can sign up for an account and just off you go, and they can create millions of accounts, and they don't sleep, they don't rest, they don't stop, right? And there's so many offerings now, and a lot of them are forks of each other. They can, agents can create other agents. The whole thing is mad. I don't think as humans we are ready for what's coming, right? These ones that are paid for, right, are even more insane, right? These Bits Gap and all these other ones, right? They're even more insane. They have access to information that you don't have access to. They're able to process data at 1,000,000 times the speed as any trader can, and access a fire hose of information on the internet and scour for stuff every microsecond. And the minute there's a bit of news that drops, they can take action immediately. They can do it at night. They're on 24/7. The only weapon that we have against these things, they're the only weapons we have against the government, the institutions, and what have you, and that's time. These things cannot time travel back to the past when we accumulated and preempted them by buying XRP sub $3, etc., or whatever else token that you have. You can try this stuff for free. You should just go try these things and just see how insane they are. I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to how mad these things are now, right? Just go on one of these. I'll leave all of the links in the description. Go test them out. I think your mind will be blown to shreds, and people don't understand how good these things are now. I mean, look at my comment section. You can see these things talking to me by name, referencing the video that I've made, talking about what I talked about, and they're not real. And some of these channels that you're watching online now are these agents. I can literally clone myself, get a video of myself talking, I mean, you've seen the Garland House videos, right? Those were created 2-3 years ago. Now imagine where the technology is now. This person speaking to you now, me, I could be a bot. I'm not, obviously, because I make too many mistakes to be a bot. And this is also one of the reasons why I now create less polished content. I don't know if you noticed, I do a lot of outdoor stuff just to keep the humanity of it, because when this stuff kicks off, you are going to have a hard time discerning what's what, right? Anyway, so back to these trading agents. It's going to be crazy. Dollar cost averaging over time and hodling is pretty much the only weapon we have against it. We're not going to be able to compete with them trading or what have you, right? And pumps and dumps are going to be more insane than we've ever seen. The only thing that can stop them, maybe regulation from the government, very, very stringent rules by exchanges and stuff, but all that stuff is also going to affect us, or if you trade, what have you. But as for now, dollar cost averaging and hodling over a longer period of time and preempting them is our only weapon against them. Just some joy and cheer for you on a beautiful Sunday, and I'll see you in the next one of Financial Advice. Peace.